Chances are if you're watching this video, you're probably just starting out at the gym. And with all the different gym equipments, workouts, and fitness creators telling different things, it can be a bit confusing, and understandably too. Well, let me demystify everything in this video. I'm gonna be talking about how you should be training, so reps, sets, all that sort of stuff, as well as take you through an entire upper body workout today. But before we get into that, let me talk about the non-negotiables when it comes to building overall upper body strength. So in order to build upper body strength, the form of exercise you need to be doing is resistance training. The most popular form of resistance training is weightlifting. However, doing bodyweight exercises such as push-ups and pull-ups counts as well. On top of that, when you're doing resistance training, you usually organize your workouts by sets and reps. Sets are the number of rounds you're gonna be performing an exercise, and reps are gonna be the number of repetitions that you're gonna be performing within one round. Now, if you wanna build upper body strength, it is extremely important that within each set, you are pushing yourself hard enough, meaning you're applying enough effort in each set. For the sake of simplicity, the maximum effort that you can put towards a set is known as failure. This is where you reach a point where you no longer can do any more reps with that same amount of weight. And a way to quantify this effort is basically just comparing how far away from failure you actually are. And ideally, you want to take each set within 2 reps shy of failure. Meaning when you stop your set, you should be thinking, okay, at most I could have done 2 more reps until I reached my maximum effort. The next non-negotiable is progress. Now, going off of effort, inevitably, if you're giving a lot of effort on exercise, over time you're gonna improve at it. Meaning, what you did before is not gonna be nearly as hard as it was before because, well, you got stronger. And in this case, you need to apply what's known as progressive overload in order to continue getting stronger. This is a fancy way of saying that you need to be making your training harder over time, either by increasing weight, increasing reps, increasing the tempo on the eccentric, or increasing your active range of motion. And the last non-negotiable is volume, usually quantified by the number of sets per muscle group. Now, ideally, you want to aim to get at least 8 sets per muscle group per week. And if we're talking about in terms of repetitions, I honestly believe that the 6 to 12 rep range is a very solid rep range all around. The reason being is, as a beginner, if you go under 6 reps, you're probably gonna be dealing with pretty heavy weight, which can increase the potential risk of injury. On the flip side, if you go too high reps and do like sets of 20, cardiovascular fatigue becomes a much bigger factor, limiting your actual muscular output. And ideally, you need to be hitting every muscle group that you plan to get stronger consistently and often enough, ideally within 2 different training sessions in one given week. This is where following a solid workout routine like those in my one-on-one fitness coaching program really comes into play, so you're not wasting time and you're keeping things efficient. And by the way, if you're interested in joining my one-on-one fitness coaching program, I'm currently running a sustainable summer shred program for, of course, it's summer. So if you're looking to get in shape by summer, build strength, or get your dream physique by next summer, apply in the link in the description. The deadline to join that would be April 22nd. But enough chit-chatting, let's go to the gym and I'm gonna take you through today's upper body workout. Let's go. In your first few months of training, your main concern should be perfecting your form on every single exercise you do. If your form is bad, in the best case, you might be making an exercise less optimal for whatever muscle you're training. But in the worst case, you can actually get injuries. So to pretty much avoid all of that, you want to drop the ego, really hone down your form. This is why I make so many shorts on this. So that is the first tip. So going hand in hand with form is range of motion. This is a little bit more of a gray area depending on the exercise, but in general, you want to be training in the fullest active range of motion that you have. That is the range of motion where the target muscle is still going to be doing most of the work. If you go to a gym, you might see along the way some people cheating on their range of motion, maybe only doing something like this, or maybe they're up here and only doing that. You know, ultimately they're playing themselves from a strength and from a hypertrophy perspective. And ultimately, if you notice that by using a full range of motion, you're not as strong, that is okay. You're better off lowering the weight in that scenario and once again training in your fullest range of motion. Because ideally, you want to be strong at all ranges of motion of whatever exercise you're doing. The next piece of advice comes with rest times. I think one of the most common mistakes in the world is just taking like 30 seconds to rest in between sets and just hopping back in. But ideally, you want at least around 2 minutes between your working sets. Staying there for 2 minutes seems kind of long, so take the opportunity to get some water. Whew. All right, so we had rest times, we covered form, we covered the non-negotiables such as workout volume, all that jazz. Now, another factor that you have to consider is minimizing fatigue throughout all of this. Imagine you bought a new car and you drove it for 6 months, you put like 6,000 miles on it, and now it's going for like $5,000 less than what you bought it for, and you need an oil check. This is kind of like fatigue. You see, when you're working out on a consistent basis, fatigue ultimately ends up creeping up in the form of either soreness, feeling generally weaker, and being overall more susceptible to injuries. However, fatigue does not go hand in hand with you seeing more results. You need to separate the two. Just because you're getting fatigued doesn't mean necessarily you're building muscle, getting stronger. Think of it as more of kind of like a waste byproduct of working out. So how do you actually minimize this? Let me tell you. Well, that was a great workout, but the work isn't over yet, as recovery is going to be the third tip we're talking about. If you think about it, all the growth comes after the gym. When you're there, you're just kind of reaping the benefit of it. At a high level, you want to minimize soreness in your next session. So the next time I do that upper body workout, meaning next time I hit my chest, back, arms, shoulders, ideally, I don't want to be sore in that next session. A good rule of thumb is giving yourself 48 hours of rest in between that muscle group. This doesn't mean you can't work out on back-to-back days. This just means that if one day you're training chest, you better not be training chest the next day, but you could do legs, you could do back, you can do calves, whatever it is. So when you think about this 48-hour rule in the context of the tips I mentioned earlier, such as getting enough volume and hitting every muscle group twice per week, this is where really smart workout programming comes into play. Shameless plug, but all the clients in my Sustainable Summer Shred program is going to have access to a really good workout program. So with that in mind, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like because my like ratio is super low, and make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell because people aren't getting my videos. So if you want to see my videos, if you want to level up your physique, you definitely want to hit the bell so you're notified when I upload these videos. So with that in mind, thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one. Good luck and get stronger.